Today, I'll reveal the specific behaviors that should trigger immediate exit, explain the psychology behind why these behaviors never improve, and show you why leaving isn't giving up. It's choosing self-preservation and self-respect over a relationship that's toxic by design. Before we start, hit subscribe and drop a comment if you've ever stayed with someone hoping they'd change behaviors that only got worse. And drop your city or country below. Behavior. That. 1. She regularly disrespects you publicly. She belittles you in front of friends, family, or strangers. She mocks your appearance, intelligence, career, or manhood publicly. She makes you the punchline of jokes. She contradicts or undermines you in social settings. She treats you with contempt when others can witness it. This isn't playful teasing. It's public humiliation designed to diminish you. Why this is unforgivable. Public disrespect reveals she has no respect for you privately either. Someone who values and respects their partner protects their dignity, especially in public. When she humiliates you publicly, she's sending multiple messages. You're not worthy of respect. Your feelings don't matter. She's comfortable diminishing you to elevate herself, and she believes you'll tolerate it without consequence. The psychology. This behavior stems from contempt. What relationship researcher John Gottman identifies as the strongest predictor of relationship failure. Contempt is the belief that your partner is beneath you, unworthy of respect. When someone holds you in contempt, they don't respect your feelings, value your contributions, or see you as an equal. Contempt doesn't evolve into respect. It deepens over time as the person becomes more comfortable, expressing their fundamental lack of regard for you. Public disrespect also serves a social function. She's signaling to others that you're low value, that she could do better, that she's settling or being generous by staying with you. This social positioning reveals how she actually views the relationship hierarchy. She's above you, and she wants everyone to know it. Why you must leave. Respect is non-negotiable. A relationship without mutual respect is a relationship where you'll be consistently diminished, devalued, and damaged. Staying after public disrespect teaches her the behavior is acceptable. Leaving immediately establishes that you value yourself even if she doesn't, and that no relationship is worth sacrificing your dignity. Behavior 2. She uses intimacy as a weapon or bargaining chip. She withholds physical affection or sex to punish you or to manipulate you into doing what she wants. Intimacy becomes conditional, earned through compliance rather than expressed through mutual desire. She uses your need for physical connection as leverage to control your behavior. She explicitly or implicitly offers or withdraws intimacy based on whether you've met her demands. Why this is unforgivable. Using intimacy as manipulation reveals she views the relationship transactionally rather than as a genuine partnership. Physical connection should be mutual expression of desire and affection, not a currency traded for compliance. When she weaponizes intimacy, she's demonstrating that your relationship is based on control dynamics rather than love, that your needs only matter when satisfying them serves her purposes. The psychology. This behavior reflects power dynamics and control needs. By controlling access to intimacy, she maintains power in the relationship. You become trained to modify your behavior to earn affection that should be freely given. This creates a psychological pattern where you're constantly seeking her approval, changing yourself to meet shifting standards, and accepting that love and affection are conditional rewards rather than consistent relationship foundations. This manipulation also damages your self-worth over time. Constantly being denied intimacy except as reward for compliance makes you feel undesirable, unworthy, and increasingly desperate for validation she deliberately withholds. The psychological damage compounds as you internalize the message that you must earn basic affection through perfect behavior. Why you must leave. Healthy relationships don't use intimacy as punishment or reward. Physical connection flows from mutual desire, not from negotiation or manipulation. Staying in a relationship where intimacy is weaponized means accepting a dynamic where your needs are tools for her control. Leave immediately to preserve your self-worth and find a partner who desires you consistently, not just when it serves her manipulative purposes. Behavior. 3. She consistently lies about important things. She lies about her whereabouts, her relationships with other people, her past, her finances, or other significant matters. These aren't white lies to spare feelings. They're deliberate deceptions about important topics that affect trust and decision-making. You've caught her in lies multiple times, and each time she either gaslights you about what actually happened or promises it won't happen again, then lies again. Why this is unforgivable. Consistent lying about important matters destroys the foundation of trust that relationships require. When someone lies habitually, you can never believe them, never feel secure, never make informed decisions because you're operating on false information. The relationship becomes a constant investigation where you're trying to determine what's true, which is exhausting and psychologically damaging. The psychology, habitual lying about significant matters indicates either pathological dishonesty or contempt for your right to know the truth. Some people lie compulsively due to personality disorders that drive deceptive behavior regardless of consequences. Others lie because they don't respect your right to make informed decisions about your own life and relationship. Either way, the lying won't stop because it's either compulsive behavior they can't control or deliberate behavior they don't want to control because it serves them. Habitual liars also engage in trickle truth, slowly revealing bits of truth only when caught, always minimizing, always holding back more. This means even when you discover a lie, you never get full truth, just another layer of deception. The constant drip of partial truths is as damaging as outright lies because you remain in perpetual uncertainty. Why you must leave. Relationships require trust. Habitual lying makes trust impossible. No amount of promises, tears, or temporary honesty changes a pattern of significant lying. She's shown you who she is through repeated deception. Believe that pattern and leave before you waste more years with someone you can never trust, who will gaslight you into questioning your own reality whenever you catch her in lies. Behavior 4. She threatens to leave or break up during every conflict. Whenever you have a disagreement, or she doesn't get her way, she threatens the relationship. Maybe we should just break up, or I don't know if I can do this anymore, becomes her go-to response to conflict. She uses your fear of losing her as a weapon to win arguments and avoid accountability. The relationship becomes hostage to her mood and willingness to threaten its existence whenever she's unhappy. Why this is unforgivable. Using breakup threats as manipulation creates a relationship where you can never address problems, express needs, or disagree without fearing she'll end things. This power imbalance forces you to prioritize avoiding her threats over addressing legitimate issues. You become trained to suppress concerns, accept unacceptable behavior, and walk on eggshells to prevent her from threatening to leave. The psychology. This behavior reflects emotional terrorism, using fear to control someone. By repeatedly threatening the relationship's existence, she keeps you in a state of anxiety and compliance. You modify your behavior, not to improve the relationship, but to prevent her from destroying it. This creates a dynamic where she has absolute power because she's willing to end things, and you're desperate to preserve them. The pattern also reveals she doesn't value the relationship's stability. Someone who threatens to leave constantly either doesn't actually want to be there and is hoping you'll end it, or enjoys the power that comes from making you fear abandonment. Either way, she's demonstrating that the relationship's existence is a tool for manipulation, rather than something she's committed to protecting. Why you must leave. Relationships require security. Constantly threatening to leave creates permanent instability where you can never relax, never feel safe, never address problems honestly. Call her bluff and leave. Either she was serious about leaving, in which case you've ended something she wanted to end anyway, or she was manipulating you, in which case leaving demonstrates you won't accept that manipulation. Staying means accepting permanent emotional terrorism. Behavior 5. She shows patterns of cruelty or takes pleasure in your pain. She's not just insensitive or thoughtless, she's deliberately cruel. She says things specifically designed to hurt you. She laughs at your pain or insecurity. She enjoys watching you struggle or suffer. She knows your vulnerabilities and weaponizes them during arguments. She takes pleasure in diminishing you, making you feel small, or watching you hurt. Why this is unforgivable. Deliberate cruelty reveals sadistic tendencies and fundamental lack of empathy. Normal partners, even during conflict, don't take pleasure in hurting each other. They might say hurtful things in anger they later regret, but they don't enjoy the pain they cause. When someone consistently enjoys your pain or deliberately inflicts it for entertainment or control, you're dealing with someone who has serious psychological issues that make healthy relationship impossible. The psychology. Taking pleasure in a partner's pain indicates narcissistic or sadistic personality traits. These aren't changeable with love or patience. Someone who enjoys hurting you sees you as an object for their amusement or control rather than a person deserving of compassion. The cruelty often escalates over time as they become desensitized to your reactions and need to inflict greater pain to achieve the same satisfaction. This pattern also creates trauma bonding, where intermittent cruelty and kindness create psychological dependency. You become addicted to moments when she's not being cruel, interpreting basic decency as love. This cycle is psychologically damaging and creates long-term mental health effects including anxiety, depression, and eroded self-worth. Why you must leave. Cruelty is a character issue, not a behavior issue. Someone who enjoys hurting you will continue doing it because it satisfies something in them. No amount of your effort, love, or patience changes someone who derives satisfaction from your pain. Leave immediately to protect your mental health and find someone capable of basic empathy and kindness. Behavior 6. She refuses all accountability and blames you for everything. Nothing is ever her fault. Every problem in the relationship is because of something you did, said, or failed to do. When she hurts you, it's your fault for being too sensitive. When she lies, it's your fault for not trusting her. When she's cruel, it's your fault for provoking her. She takes zero responsibility for her behavior and frames every issue as your failure. Why this is unforgivable. Refusing accountability makes relationship improvement impossible. Problems can't be solved when one person won't acknowledge their role in creating them. You end up apologizing for things you didn't do, taking responsibility for her behavior, and trying to fix problems you didn't create while she contributes nothing but blame. The psychology. This reflects what psychologists call an external locus of control, combined with narcissistic tendencies. She believes everything that happens to her is caused by external factors, primarily you. This worldview allows her to avoid uncomfortable self-reflection or behavior change because in her mind, she's always the victim of circumstances or your inadequacy. This pattern also uses a manipulation tactic called DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. When confronted about her behavior, she denies the behavior or its significance, attacks you for bringing it up, and reverses the dynamic so she becomes the victim of your accusation rather than addressing the original problem. This makes you feel guilty for addressing legitimate issues. Why you must leave. Growth requires accountability. A partner who refuses all responsibility will never change because change requires acknowledging problems exist. You'll spend the relationship accepting blame for everything, apologizing constantly, and trying to fix her behavior through your own improvement, which is impossible. Leave to find a partner capable of self-reflection and mutual accountability. Behavior 7. She isolates you from friends, family, and support systems. She discourages or prevents you from spending time with friends and family. She creates drama whenever you make plans without her. She criticizes the people close to you until you distance yourself from them to avoid conflict. She monopolizes your time and energy. She makes you choose between her and everyone else, then frames that forced choice as proof of your love. Why this is unforgivable. Isolation is a classic abuse tactic. By cutting you off from external support systems, she makes you completely dependent on her for emotional support, perspective, and validation. This dependency gives her enormous power while leaving you with no one to turn to when you need help, perspective, or escape from her behavior. The psychology. Isolation serves multiple functions for abusive or controlling partners. It removes outside perspectives that might help you recognize unhealthy dynamics. It eliminates support systems that could help you leave. It creates total dependency where she's your only source of companionship and validation. It also prevents others from witnessing concerning behavior that might lead to intervention. This pattern often starts subtly. She doesn't like certain friends. She feels left out when you see family. She needs you during times you'd usually be with others. Gradually, maintaining relationships outside the couple becomes so difficult that you stop trying, which is her goal. Once isolated, you have no reality check on whether her behavior is normal or acceptable. Why you must leave. Healthy partners encourage external relationships, not destroy them. Someone who isolates you is creating conditions for abuse to escalate without interference. Leave immediately, reconnect with isolated loved ones, and never allow another partner to cut you off from your support system. Isolation isn't love, it's control. Remember, you deserve basic respect, honesty, accountability, kindness, and freedom. If she can't provide those fundamentals, no amount of love or effort will create them. These behaviors are deal breakers because they're symptoms of character issues that make healthy relationship impossible. Leave now before more damage is done. Your future self will thank you for choosing self-preservation over false hope.